play of the game from way down.
Silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bomb stats, Nico gonna find Rainer.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming series, After Dark. Tonight, we're going to see the Battle of the Mrgles, as C West coming in with the Tidecaller Mrgles and the Vilefin Mrgles. And to enjoy all of this action with us, we have a special guest. Say hello, special guest.
Hello, it's me and not Alice, right?
Yes, it is you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, you know, it's her birthday. I didn't know if she was on camera right now.
Good point. She is not on camera right now. She may make an appearance at some point, but not yet. So I'm gonna give a quick and add text here so that I can add you as the co-caster. That name is already in use. Oh, well, let's just go with that. Caster Lulu. Now, where is it? There it is. We'll put you down here at the corner of the screen so everybody can see there. But let's take a look at our map bans here real quick as the draft is just ready to go here. So the map bans from the Tidecaller Mrgles were on Braxis Holdout and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Vilefin banning out the Alterac Pass and Towers of Doom. And our first game is going to be on Battlefield of Eternity. Now, there's a special little something that we have to highlight here, which is, let's take a look at these standings. Because tonight, the streak ends for one of these teams. Both teams currently have an 0-4 map score. So what a convenient time to have a Battle of the Mrgles. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's a shame to get your first points off of, you know, defeating your friends. But, you know,
Holy cow.
Oh my goodness, something like that. Yeah, Alpha gets it.
I have no idea why they just went crazy, but hopefully that's all done. Clearly there's something going on outside or something. So anyway, so we got bans.
Oh, that's a sad puppy.
Well, she wants my hot chocolate. That's why she's a sad puppy, because she's like, dude, I smell that chocolate.
So bans, right? Johanna ban, ETC ban, Anduin, and of course Death.
I think you mean Banduin. So all these are pretty, you know, pretty standard bans, pretty normal things to have banned out, especially given the current state of the game. Johanna's a strong tank, ETC's a strong tank, Anduin just, you know, makes it so annoying to play against him because he's just like, nah, I don't think you're gonna get to kill that person.
He's the best.
And then you've got Deathwing, the Destroyer, and the World Breaker.
Which is interesting with first pick that they banned the Deathwing. So I guess you would think they probably don't play it?
Maybe. But we're going to see Greymane and Stukov here coming out from the other side. Now, I mean, an early ban on Deathwing, we have seen a couple of opportunities here with teams to pick the Deathwing. But I think that everybody's been really cautious about their drafting to make sure that ultimately they have some kind of counter to the Deathwing, or at least some way to deal with it, if not a counter specifically. So, like, we had a couple games last night where neither team banned it, neither team picked it. So, who knows? But we're gonna see Raynor Jaina.
It's been really interesting. Like, everyone thought, you know, he's gonna be so OP. Then he came out and everyone said, no, wait a minute, he's really easy to beat. And then as he's actually come into things, like, oh, he still is, you know, this huge presence because he's very large and annoying to deal with. So everyone's still kind of trying to figure him out.
Agreed. And, you know, I mean, the reality of it is that he is a strong hero, but just like Cho'Gall, there are ways around, you know, playing with him on both sides of it, right? You have to build your own team under the assumption that you're not going to have that fifth hero to receive any benefits from your team. No bloodlusts or stim drones or anything like that. Nano boosts. We're going to see Sheeds coming in with the Anubrak and Umbob with Sylvanas. What do you think so far of these drafts?
I mean, I like them both a lot so far. Sylvanas has been in a pretty strong place recently, and Greymane is, he just got buffed too, I think. I don't play Greymane. And then other Mrgles have the classic Jaina Raynor. Oh, and a fast Garrosh. I don't like fast Garrosh. That's not fun to play against.
A fast Garrosh and Jaina slows. I love this. Shui coming in saying that he thinks the Mrgles are gonna win. But I don't know. Dershane Train says, I think the Mrgles are gonna come in here and pull out the W, underdog style. And I have to agree.
Be a negative Nancy, but I think the Mrgles are gonna lose.
Ooh, man, that's a harsh reality. Oh my god, these dogs are just... They are all about whatever. Alright. Well, you've seen the drafts. Who do you think's gonna win? Is it gonna be the Tidecaller Mrgles, or is it gonna be the Vilefin Mrgles? You can vote in chat right up there above your chat window. Just hit the drop down, select your button, and call it a day. Oh, I'm glad I checked, because I still had... Wow, I've got all kinds of people on the wrong heroes. This would have been awkward. Yeah, okay, these are right. Cool. Carry it over from last game or something, probably. Too soon, Lulu.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, Ace bringing up a good point. People were wary about picking Deathwing. The nerfs were, you know, they definitely had some value there. So let's see. I got to turn this back on. There we go. I did some replay casting earlier, and the overlays were gone. So all right, Lulu, would you like to introduce the Mrgles?
Yeah. The blue ones are the Tidecallers, right?
That's correct.
Just like, you know, tides. So for the Tidecaller Mrgles, on Stukov, you've got Key, Bob is on Sylvanas, Rise Robin on Blaze, Kotip on Greymane, and Cheege on Anubarak.
All right, and over here for the Vilefin Mrgles, we've got Lawlins on Raynor. Kind of seems like that fits. Wrecked gonna be playing Jaina, Jake TG on the Garrosh, Stony on Lucio, and Smoke gonna be playing that Sonya. Now, as a reminder, we have some recent bans. So Greymane cannot take Unleashed at level 20 because it's absolutely stupidly broken right now. Also, Toy Trains, they're out, they're banned, can't play them. Feels bad.
All the hype, all the waiting just to get banned immediately. Feels
right?
Very bad.
But I will say this, at least one team got the opportunity to show a real pain train on stream last night. It happened. It was live.
Region Phoenix?
It sure was.
Wow, this is shocking.
All right, so throwing in the minion. That minion is sure gonna die, but Garrosh might also. Getting very low. He's able to walk away there with that 40 armor. So what do we got? New habits here are going to be the pick for Blaze up in the top lane there, giving that unstoppable. We've got the reactive Ballistospores. That's a fun one. Boo, Train says Mantis. Yep, exactly. A new wreck going into the regen globes as well. I was just gonna say, but if they can't get into the regen globes, that makes it a little bit more of a problem. Greymane gonna get thrown. Coat-tip diving out. Giving a little parting gift there to Jake, saying thanks for that throw, not. As they both start their Hearthstones at almost exactly the same moment. So we do have a Wrecking Ball upgrade here, unrivaled strength, so additional damage and also different additional range on the throw talent there, or throw ability, which, I mean, that can be really nice. Obviously, it depends on the team that you're going into and even the map. I really like that talent on Dragonshire. I'm not sure how much value it gets here. I think that it can make your EQ combo a little bit harder to hit, because it doesn't line up exactly, so you have to, you know, kind of be mindful of that. But there are a lot of walls to throw over as well, so we're going to see here already Tidecaller has their siege camp ready to go, but it's going to be Vilefin picking theirs up first. Hey, don't you be banning people in my chat.
He heard that the train was banned. He's Dershane train.
Not sure about all this. So we see here Raynor and Jaina coming in onto the Immortal already for Vilefin. And of course, Greymane and Sylvanas doing some work here. I am a little surprised to see the Possession instead of the Merqueen, because I think Merqueen still gets damage onto the Immortal here. But Jake TG on the Garrosh getting very low, getting the throw onto Siege, throwing him in, and good night. That's the first blood of the game, gonna be the Bugman. But that's gonna prevent Tidecaller from really getting in and making use of those strong race heroes like the Greymane and the Sylvanas. They can't get in here with no tank to really zone for them.
Yeah, so now Raynor just gets to sit over there and have fun 1v1ing the Immortal.
Yeah, the best hero in the game who just stands there and hits W occasionally. Jake this time falling low, uses that Indomitable to get out. Coat-tip, however, nah, he's fine, he's cool. Immortal getting a little bit of damage there. Smoke, however, not able to sustain with that Whirlwind into the team, and that's going to give the Immortal over to the Tidecaller Mrgles. Seems fishy to me.
That was good, Aero. I'm proud of you. You made it fun.
So Blaze sitting at 11 so far on the healing globes for his talent there. New bracket 9, so a little bit behind there. Party mix now completed for the Lucio, but check it out. Lalin's getting so low there. Stukov nearly getting that kill, as the Immortal pretty well taking care of that front wall. Moving on now to the fort, and Lucio's got to be a little bit careful. A stun from a Nubrak could lead to exactly this, a Greymane dive. I don't know, Lulu. I think Shui might be right. I think the Mrgles are really looking strong in this game, and I think that the Mrgles are going to win.
Yep, you know, I said the Mrgles were gonna lose, but
oh, does he live? Oh, he just barely gets caught by Sylvanas on that haunting wave.
It's like the 5th time Garrosh has been so low, and they finally got the kill onto him.
That is huge value. That Sylvanas push allowed them to get all the way to the keep wall. And did they get any damage? Even a little bit of damage on the keep. That is insane value out of a early game Immortal. No level 10s either. This is a real challenge here for Vilefin. They've got to like get this soak so that they're level 10s before the next immortal, because without it, they may very well be in a position to lose the game even. It doesn't come up often, but it could happen. Good stun combo from a Mrgles.
Damage on the keep. Oh, and Sony's gone.
Sorry, what were you saying about the damage on the keep?
Oh, just 6 minutes in, it's already got damage on their keep. Not a great place to be.
Yeah, Blaze doing a great job of interrupting the rotations here, slowing things down. And again, with Sylvanas here, now they're level 10. This is rapidly becoming a snowball here. This is not exciting for the Vilefin Mrgles. Rainer's out of mana, so he's got to be careful about what he's doing here. Bob with the wave kill. Exactly, Burrito. My activity feed says that it's too quiet, guys. If any of you haven't followed, make sure you do so now. There's the cursed bullet. Did not land, though. I don't think. Looked like it was just a little bit off there. Raynor getting slowed in, then into the silence. Jake going in, popping Indomitable, but that was... we'll say aggressive. Aggressive's a good word for that one.
Garrosh fears nothing, but sometimes he maybe should.
Exactly. Yeah, that was too much for Garrosh to try to go into. But we do have the bottom fort here falling. It's going to be about a quarter or so, I think, by the time that these two die. But there's Immortal coming, and that Immortal is going to just walk over that fort, no problem. Level 10's online now, though, for the Bloodfin? No, Vilefin. Indomitably used. Here comes the leap. Oh, into the Immortal stun, potentially just barely missed. As 2 heroes dying, make it 3. The Ring of Frost plus Blizzard, and now Blaze popping the Pyromania trying to get out. And that is going to be a triple kill for the Vilefin, and that's exactly what they needed to get back into this game.
Yeah, that was a huge leap from Sonya. Just stuns onto everybody.
And you know, that was the kind of ballsy clutch play, almost the Hail Mary that they kind of had to do, because without that, if Tidecaller gets this Immortal and they just push it down bot, like, that's easily the fort, definitely the fort, possibly the keep. Blaze, though, is getting a little bit chilly here in this blizzard. But Greymane says, no, not my friend. Goodbye, Garrosh, I assume. Although he's got a wordless challenge, maybe? Nah. Nope. Not this time. So this time it's going to be 2 kills. And even with all of that, Tidecallers still get the Immortal. Just barely. It's got 1 auto attack's worth of shield.
It was 159 damage away from Vilefin getting that.
Pretty close. Pretty close. Level 13's now available here for the Tidecallers. And again, they've got Greymane and Sylvanas. They can shut down the towers. They can bunker if they need to. And Greymane. And we've got the Wrecking Ball was used there. It threw a minion, so not going to get any value from that throw. But they are going to get the full wall down and a little bit of damage on the keep here. Well, about 2/3 of the keep down. So Tidecaller sitting in a very good place here. Vilefin need to find a way to get another one of those big stun chain combos like they had a few moments ago. So are they going to come invade this? They're looking like they're going to try. Garrosh is going to throw them out. They might have been able to do it, but it would have been pretty risky. And, you know, Tidecallers at this point, I mean, they own this game right now. So it's their game to lose based on the current map structure and setup. So they don't really need to take anything that's super aggressive. Like, going into that camp and saying, hey, we're here, is enough to put a little fear on the Vilefin.
Right, and then they just strolled up, took the top camp for free, and now they've got pressure here on this keep again in the top lane.
And Nubrak, Siege there doing a great job of holding that bush. Cursed Bullet is going out, and Garrosh just takes so much damage after that. Greymane did get some pretty decent buffs here, although if I remember correctly, they're almost entirely at level 20, if not in 100% at level 20. One of which is banned because of it. But he also has, you know, his Cursed Bullet was pretty dramatically changed. Instead of being 40% just in general, it's now 30% at level 20, but it's a 10-second cooldown instead of a 30-second cooldown. So less overall damage initially, but it's usable more often. So that kind of makes it an interesting talent. And then his cleave talent, his Worgen cleave talent, actually gives him 100% additional damage from Razor Swipe, which is his Worgen form Q. So that's actually pretty significant if you go into that cleave, because you're getting even more AoE damage. Speaking of which, Greymane diving in there, getting taunted now. Silence going out, and that's going to be Garrosh being taken out. The Wailing Arrow did go out as well, and now Jaina has an Anubarak on her, but there's not a lot of damage to follow up with that. So Anubarak having to pull back. The bunker was used. And Sonya getting some Whirlwind, but she's very low at this point, so not going to be able to stick around. She doesn't have that Wrath of the Berserker to keep her nice and topped up. And as I said earlier, Tidecaller can be pretty patient in this because they've got all the pressure out there, and Vilefin having to pull back. So absolutely no damage onto that Immortal as yet. And they're coming in to defend now.
Oh, the Immortal?
We see Lucio trying to chase down the Blaze. The Blaze is getting thrown, pops Spell Shield here. And Cursed Bullet out, and Garrosh again feels bad. Every time he sticks his head out, it's just blown away. Leap missing from Sonya. She's getting the Whirlwind, but gotta land that leap. And that's going to be now the Immortal going over to Tidecaller Mrgles. This is going to go top lane.
With the full shield, and Tidecaller has the level 16s that Vilefin does not yet have.
Yep, there goes Cocoon onto Raynor. Big Silence coming out with a stun. Jet Propulsion with Sound Barrier as well. Jake getting a little bit low, but they're not too worried about chasing down a Garrosh here. Lucio, I don't know, maybe he DC'd? Like, he just stood there on that corner. Jake popping the Unstoppable, the throw onto Raynor, and the Immortal's now making its way here. Finally taking its time. I don't know, did I have chat turned off or something? Maybe, I don't know. But this looks like it's going to be game number 1 going over to the Tidecaller Mrgles. And I did not have chat turned off, so there you go. Alrighty, statistics here for you. I like what Murda says. The match summary brought to you by the Nexus Gaming Series.
Very nice.
And show these talents as well. Pretty strong showing there by the Tidecaller Mrgles. That was a fantastic game from them. And you know, I gotta say, playing Garrosh into Stukov is just a freaking nightmare. And then when you pile that on with a Cursed Bullet, not only can you not do anything, but you also just have to walk away as soon as you started to walk in. It's just not a fun circumstance.
Garrosh was at like 1/3 health most of that match, so we couldn't really get in and do a whole lot.
Indeed. Any of these talents that that you see that excite you or anything? Are you even still on the talent screen?
I am. I play with Swipe for Stukov, so it's always I like watching other people play shove because it's interesting to see the value that they get out of it. It's a very different talent.
It is. Oh yeah, absolutely, right? Push one person away or push everybody a little bit away.
And then the stun you get also on the shove. Just shove someone into a building and save up the time.
Indeed. Alrighty, well, while we get set up for game number 2, why don't we do a short commercial break so we don't have any interruptions in the middle of our cast for people that are coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and run a 90 seconds, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes, or in a few moments. Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. I was hoping that by now we would have our map choice, but as yet, we have nothing. Let's see if I can get a response from the captain. So, Lulu, I know you've been asking me for an entire week. Where's Alice? Well, Alice has made it into Twitchland.
She has.
Hey, there she is. Oh, there we go. We're now getting an invite. So I don't know about you, but I'm excited because that image of Alice there is, I think it's pretty cool. I like it.
It's really goofy. I like it a lot.
I think it really showcases her personality. There you are. And it looks like our game is going to be taking us to Dragonshire. So let's look at our map bans. Tidecaller Mrgles started us off with the bans on Braxis Holdout and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Vilefin Mrgles brought in the bans on Alterac Pass and Towers of Doom. Our game number 1 was selected by Tidecaller Mrgles. It was on the Battlefield of Eternity. It was also won by them. And then game number 2 here on Dragonshire, also going to be the selection of Tidecaller Mrgles. Just a real quick reminder here to them. Trains are banned. Also unleashed level 20. Just to clarify. All right, there we go. I am poor. I don't own the train. Well, you know what? Fair enough. Alice, hey, you want to come say hi to everybody? Huh? Come here.
The birthday girl gonna come say hello?
Come here. Come on. Up. Come on up. Come on, Alice. Come on, the game's starting. Come here. Come on. Up. Up we go. Up we go. Can we see everybody? Nope, you gotta get closer. Come on. Up we go. There we go. Say hi to everybody. Oh, look, she's got her party hat on. Yay. Oh, yeah, she's not liking this. All right, you can go back to laying down.
This is not in her party plans, Aero, please.
There you go. Well, you know what? She got a new ball today, and she doesn't normally, like, when we go to the store, she doesn't normally select toys. I usually have to find something that I think she'll like. And usually I'm right. But
because you're always right.
But of course. But today we walked up and down the aisle of PetSmart, and once again she was like, not so much. But then she found the right ball, so she got to bring that home, and she played with it for hours.
Very nice.
So, for the sake of pups, I just moved from an apartment and bought my first house. I'd love to become a pet parent soon. Congratulations. It's a pain in the ass. Make sure you do some research before you get whatever animal you do get, so you know how to not only take care of them, but the multiple levels of BS that are going to be applied to your life going forward.
But their pets are really great.
Oh, absolutely.
Big fan.
100%. But like, you still got to know what you're going to have to deal with. And there's the Deathwing. So we're sticking with a fairly common thing and banning out the tanks, banning out the Deathwing, and adding one healer to the mix. So
yeah. So the Vilefin Mrgles banning the Stukov from last game, and then the Tidecallers are banning out Deathwing since Vilefin didn't do it for them.
So it doesn't surprise me at all that they banned out the Stukov and then took the Garrosh again, because I think that the Stukov was one of two of the biggest problems. Obviously, the Cursed Bullet was a challenge as well, but I think Stukov was the part that was actually oppressive as far as Garrosh is concerned. You can't get a Bloodthirst, which, you know, helps to counter a lot of the damage that came from that Cursed Bullet. Keeps you healthy if you're silenced. You also can't throw somebody, and so you're walking at them menacingly. Doesn't get a lot of value if you're just walking at somebody.
What if you're really scary looking?
Maybe. You're not so scary looking when you're in a silence puddle, though.
Fair.
But Smoke gonna switch off the Sonya and head over to the Malthael, and we're gonna get a Li Ming as well coming out from Rect. So once again, we've got the Sylvanas. We have a global in the Dahaka here, so Dahaka versus Malthael. Presumably. They're going to ban out the Anduin. That Banduin.
Feels bad, man.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Greymane taken out here. In this third ban for
Yeah,
Vilefin.
he caused a lot of problems for them last game. Whoop. Just kidding, though.
I mean, I think if I'm Tidecaller, I just take the Greymane. Like, Greymane is so strong right now, and into the Garrosh, Curse Bullet's going to be so much value. Could even take Alpha Killer at 16 for even more value, you know. And you get the siege value, right? Sylvana shuts down a tower, you kill it. But they're going to hold on to it. And that might actually work against them, because I could see if Lawlins plays a Greymane, I could see a Greymane Li Ming working really well too.
Yeah, and that's good. Just take it away from the guy that just kind of wrecked you with it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But you know, Vilefin Mrgle, they don't need to listen to us. It's fine.
Nobody needs to listen to us. We don't know anything. Although I do have to say I'm confused by the Tychus. I don't know that he gets more value that other heroes wouldn't do better on. Like, I think Raynor does just as well into a Nubrak and has better sustain, like self-sustain. But this should be a Greymane? No, it's a Lunar.
Wrong again, Aero.
The heck do I know? So Lunar is going to have Vision, which is great. Lunar does have Nature's Calling, which is also pretty solid. It's going to take her longer to kill things, but it'll actually, you know, it'll happen eventually. But that said, I mean, they took Lunara into Malfurion. So, like, a sustained damage into a sustained healer, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it all plays out. One way or another, a Mrgle is gonna get a win here.
This is true. This is true. Oh, I gotta do the poll. View poll. Manage poll. There we go. All right, guys. Who do you think is gonna win game number 2? Is it gonna be the Tidecaller Mrgles on the left, or the Vilefin Mrgles on the right? Obviously, your votes decide the winner, so you gotta vote. All right, Lulu, take it away. Introduce the Mrgles, please.
Okay, so this game for the Tidecaller Mrgles, we've got Key on the Ana, Bob on Sylvanas, Rise Robin on Dahaka, Kotip on Lunara, and Sheej on the Anubarak again.
Alrighty, over here for the Vilefin Mrgles, we got Lawlins playing the Tychus, Wrecked on the Li Ming, Stony going to be playing the Malfurion, Jake back on the Garrosh, and Malthael going to be played by Smoke. And let me just say, seeing Malthael zip around on a pale horse, like, I know he took it because I can see him moving so fast, but on a bar of soap, it just looks hilarious. He just moves so fast. Leaving those bubbles around. It's like a squeaky little, I don't know.
The horse is pale and sudsy.
Exactly. It's like, you know, when you had the big tarps with the soapy water and you would just go diving down.
Slip and slide?
Yeah, the slip and slide. Yeah,
Homemade
thanks.
Slip and slides.
Yeah. Sorry, we were poor. All right, what do we got talent-wise? So we have that pale horse, as we talked about. Gonna get the throw, but the root just a little bit off. And that's gonna allow Sheej to burrow charge away and be relatively safe. I voted for a game 3, obviously. Fair enough, Berserk, fair enough. And right away at the 1 minute mark here, we're gonna get the Tidecallers onto their siege camp. We're also gonna see here now Vilefin working on theirs as well. Garrosh going in really far. I'd be surprised if this isn't a kill, honestly. It's close, but that dot damage might actually not kill him. Oh, not with a tap for sure. Ooh, Vilefins. Everybody's voting for the Vilefins. For right
Everyone
now.
wants more Mrgle on Mrgle action. Why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Although I am disappointed by the lack of Murky so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Same
fair.
for Murlocs.
That's fair. So Jake is pretty low down here. What did Sylvanas? Oh, she took Shadow Daggers, so not quite getting the 3 stacks she needed to make that Shadow Dagger stack quest stack rather. And Tychus is still, I mean, he is still a tank shredder, so he's still going to do a lot to Anubarak there. But they're also very low. I mean, this is a 3, now it's 3 on 4 as Malfurion came from mid to bot here to heal up his team. There's the root on to Anubarak, just barely. In fact, if Tychus hadn't grenaded him, that would have been a groundbreaker stun onto Anubarak, and I don't know if they would have gone in after it, but they potentially could have. Lawlins, however, the Lunara flank coming in, getting the value, maybe getting a second kill onto Garrosh. Can they make this work? Nah, Malfurion. Moonfire too strong. Nerf Malfurion, he's able to heal so much. That's a joke, by the way. It's going to be dominance here along with the force armor for Li Ming, so looking to get those kills and get some healing. What else do we have here? So we do have actually a couple of talents here. So it is Nature's Calling for Lunara and Natural Perspective. So giving that vision while heroes are poisoned. Garrosh coming in, looking for a target. Does get the throw onto the Anubrak. There's no route to follow up. Gotta land that combo if they're going to get any kills out of it. Now, Sylvanas did take Merc Queen, but she is not up in the top lane heading in with these Mercs right now. There's the throw, there's the root, a little bit late. So it feels to me like, just based on the timing, that Garrosh is throwing people and then Stoney's having to kind of guess. And I think that if Vilefin wants to be successful here, they have to communicate better. A little bit of a zoning read there. Lawlen's taking a bunch of damage from the Lunara. It's going to be Splintered Spear for Lunara, speaking of Lunara. And again, there's the root, but it was a little bit off from where it needed to be. And that could, I mean, even that, like, even if they were calling it, could have been just practice. But Lawlen's going to get taken out by the Lunara here. And that's going to give the channel potential over to the Tidecaller as Lunara already on the point. And keep in mind, there's no global here for the Vilefin. Oh, by the way, apparently Anubrak died trying to get in on that point, I think. Did you see that kill?
No.
Okay. Well, that, at least, I mean, for Vilefin, at least they get the kill out of that. That gives them some XP. You know. Oh, you know what? You know what? Okay. I get it now. Tychus for the Dragon Knight. Oh, good job to Haka getting that kill on Malthael up in top lane. Didn't see it, but I want to shout out Rise Robin for that kill. That's, anytime you can get that kill in the solo lane, that's really fantastic, because generally speaking, it's not easy. But my point on the Tychus was, of course, that earlier in the draft I said, there's not really much he does better than anybody else that could have done the same thing, but he does melt the Dragon Knight pretty well.
That's fair.
Especially within the rhythm. So he's going to have additional stacks giving him additional time on his minigun. Reach take at level 1. What does that one do? Reduce the I love Combat Tactician. It's so good. The only challenge is... What? What? Where did that even happen?
I assume he was top lane against Ahaka again.
Rise Robin. Chill out, dude. Too strong. Oh no, does he somehow... Oh my god, all these minions. Is this what happened to Malthael?
Maybe we're seeing what went down.
Like, I just think of the memes where it's like, ah!
What?
The memes where, like, there's a... Or, like, the old cartoons or whatever where, like, you're going into something and then there's this wall of badness and you're like, oh, that was the wrong decision. Kind of like a, oh no. Anyways, clearly...
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Fair enough. Well, in any case, that was definitely a stressful moment for Tychus. Probably what caused Malthael to die, maybe even twice.
Yes.
As those minions, I mean, they don't do tons of damage, but they do enough. I think that was an unnecessary cocoon, but it's a not that long cooldown. Only a little over a minute.
Ooh.
Oh, the rotation coming up. They missed the first stun, but it didn't matter. Five kills to 1 so far here. And now Vilefin are able to clear up the bot lane. They did lose that one fort to the Dragon Knight phase there. So they're a little bit behind, but this is, I mean, they're still way ahead of where they were last game at this same point. They have all but one of their structures, so there's a lot of opportunity for them to come back into this game. And you know what, let's talk a little bit about these ultimates here. We've got the Last Rites, the Odin, Twilight Dream, Warlord's Challenge, and Disintegrate here. So having a Warlord's Challenge into a Twidream is going to be really high value if they can coordinate those. And Garrosh looking for the taunt. There it is. Getting it onto, I think, to the Twidream coming out. That's going to lock down Lunara. Maybe getting the Sylvanas. Oh, just barely missing that one. Thought I heard a Last Rites. I did, but it didn't get the kill. So only the one kill, but you know what? That's still pretty decent value here for the Vilefin Mrgles. As now they're going to be able to clear this up and potentially maybe they can... Nope, they got to... Okay, I was going to say they got to clear out the channel first.
They are catching up in XP though, and there's their 13, so now they're on the same talent tier again for the rest of this.
Red Sanic. What's he talking about? Oh no? Yeah, okay, that's probably what he's talking about. Alright, well there's a route there to zone out the Tidecallers. Is going to give Vilefin their siege camp. But still here, 4 Tidecallers in the middle. Unstoppable used by Garrosh there, so that's not going to be available for the next 40 seconds or so. And there's Cocoon onto Garrosh, so the Wailing Arrow missing the root coming out, but Lunara just taking him out. Taunt coming in onto the Sylvanas, but Eye of Horus slowly whittling down that health bar on Garrosh. And that's going to give...
have no fear. Again.
Yeah. It's going to give Sylvanas the opportunity to get 2 kills. One onto Garrosh, one onto Li Ming.
The fire comes for you.
And with the Dragon Knight, let's check. Does Sylvanas have her Black Arrows? She sure does. And it looks like they just got level 16 as well, so...
This is starting to look a lot like the last game of PoE.
It's getting closer. It's
Got
definitely
the
getting closer.
Got the 16 advantage, and they're pushing in.
But we see the Odin coming out, the punt onto Garrosh. Malthael and Dahaka here fighting. Malthael is gonna fall there.
Poor Malthael, he's having a rough day.
There's the Cocoon on to Garrosh, and he's behind the enemy team here, so does manage to avoid getting hit by the sleep dart. Great Indomitable, keeping him from getting stunned, because if he got stunned there, I think he dies. And Dragon Knight just getting what damage it can from its flames. Malfurion, however, getting really low and getting interrupted out of his Twidream by the Into the Fray, right on out of the fray. And that's going to be the end of the Dragon Knight. So, you know what? I gotta call that a win for the Vilefin. Like, they lost a fair bit, but, I mean, they didn't lose their keep. And that should have happened with the Sylvanas, especially with the Malthael kill up above.
Right. And the talent tier advantage.
And the talent tier advantage, exactly. Absolutely. Well, the teams are going to go ahead and split up here. We got the Tychus, Garrosh in the bot lane. Now, this kind of surprises me that they're holding on to this. They're going to hold on to this so that they can couple it with the Siege Giants. So, I don't know. If they're giving the opportunity for 16 to catch up for the Vilefin Mrgles. And one thing I see here, that's the stuff. This is a really challenging talent to take at level 13 for Tychus, especially when you take in the rhythm, because it doesn't do you a lot of good to heal off of your minigun damage. If you're doing that talent correctly, you're getting more and more and more time on it, and that just delays how long it is before you get your heal out of that. So I don't like, that's an anti-synergy talent in my opinion. It's much better with, like, if you take Master Assassin. Plus I think the spell armor might have just been better anyways. But Twilight Dream coming out. He's all by himself though. Malfurion going in there with the aggression that Garrosh had, and we're just, well, we get the counter kill onto the Sylvanas, so that's good. They can't get the tower shut down anymore. But that is 3 kills in trade for 1. But now they've got a wave and they've got beetles. So that is going to be another keep down, and with Li Ming going down, this may very well be game, and it looks like they agree. They're heading over here to the core. They don't have Sylvanas. They have Lunara. She has Nature's Culling, so I mean, it is going to take a little bit. I don't know that they can win this before... Well, still no Li Ming, but there's still enough people here to equalize out this defense. So, yeah, I was going to say, I think they just have to pull back. Uh-oh. Can they get the Nubrak? The stun going out on the Malfurion. There's the throw, and it is going to be the kill. That was a great route from Stony there to get the Nubrak locked down for just enough time to allow them to get in here and get the kill, but now get the bottom point as well. But you know what? You know what else? What's coming up here? We got level 20s. Tidecaller's coming very soon.
Just around the corner for Tidecaller. And still 2 and a little bit of a levels away for Vilefin. So they got a ways to go to get that.
The good thing is that they do have some XP that's relatively close by that they can gather, although I was going to say they actually have to go get it.
They do have a little bit of time right now where they're 5v4, so that gives them some time to catch up while they've got the man advantage.
Yeah, and really right now they just need to try to get what they can done away from the Tidecallers, as even though they have the man advantage, the level 20s are so much value. I mean, one Contagion. Did he take? He didn't take Contagion. He took the Apex Predator, so he's going to be able to sneak around the map a lot faster and a lot more often. And Dahaka holding this bush. We see the Groundbreaker going out, but it doesn't hit. Cocoon coming back in, and the root's out, but not hitting anybody. They're going to take out the Malthael there from that Leaping Strike. Twilight Dream going to go on to Lunara. They need to pull this back, because if they lose more people here, it's going to turn into the game. The isolation did go out onto Garrosh, and Dahaka getting stunned, but ultimately using that burrow so he doesn't get thrown. So that is still a dangerous place, and we see Dahaka up there in the top. This might be the opportunity now for Tidecaller Mrgles to get the Dragon Knight. Because Vilefin, there's no chance that they can get to the bottom lane, so here it comes. Now, Malthael's out for 12 seconds. So it looks like they're going to just go straight for the core. Garrosh was, no fear. Yeah, we'll go with that. No fear.
Hunted away.
Well, he took a lot of damage going in. There's the Cocoon, the punt going on to Tychus this time. And that's going to prevent them from getting a lot of that damage onto this Dragon Knight. Is the Dragon Knight now making its way to the core? It is falling very quickly, though. And
That's that Tychus pick.
Yeah, well, Tychus and also Li Ming. Taunt going out is going to hit onto Dahaka, but Dahaka's going to hit the tongue. I think Jake dies here, but no, he seems to be doing just fine. Wailing Arrow going out, getting the silence, and huge damage coming out from Lunara onto Malfurion. Make it Malthael as well. They get the kill onto Dahaka, but Garrosh is going to fall, and now Lunara going in for Lawlins. And Odin popped, but I don't think there's enough in the tank to stop this unless there's some massive Li Ming just dominance here, and it's not going to matter. As the Tidecaller Mrgles is going to be victorious 2-0 over the Vilefin Mrgles.
That was a really good defense against the Dragon Knight, but taking that team fight when they still didn't have 20s just wasn't quite enough.
Indeed. Let's go ahead and showcase the stats here. See if we can get Key or somebody from Tidecallers in. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, okay. All right, let's head over to Lobby 5 in NGS.
Okay.
See you there. Hey, Key, welcome.
Hey, I'm taking someone with me if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, alright.
Who are you bringing in?
Robin. Where is he? He said he wants to come.
Getting Rise
Okay,
Robin
there
played
is.
out of his mind.
There.
Wasn't he? Hey, so there we go. So we've got Key the captain and Rise Robin the solo laner there from Tidecaller. Congratulations, guys, on your not only on your 2-0 victory, but also breaking that losing streak.
Yes, we are happy
One
for
of
that.
many.
One of many.
Yeah, the season just starts today, so
You know what? That is an excellent way to look at it. You know, you can't. You have to start winning at some point, and why not
Right.
make it today, right?
correct.
So, how are you guys feeling about how that match went for you?
Pretty good. I feel like we prep a lot for this week, just because we lost the first 2 weeks, so we kind of spend a little bit more time in terms of like scouting, team comms, talking about comms, etc. So we're happy that we came out and did what we planned it basically. So
Sure. All right. Well, and it seems to have provided a lot of value. You guys were looking really strong on that BOE, especially getting all the way to the keep on your first objective, and then getting most of the keep down on your second, I believe. I think it was the objective that actually got you there.
right.
So, I mean, you guys played this whole thing really well. So going into BOE, was, first of all, let's start with that. Was that always your plan? Like, was that the primary goal to go to BOE, or did that kind of just work out because they banned something or what have you?
We did have 4 maps like that. We kind of planned it in order, and BOE was our second choice. We had a map that they actually banned it out, so
Gotcha.
yeah.
And they banned out the Deathwing. You guys banned out the Deathwing in the second game. What are your thoughts on Deathwing? Have you guys, looked at him much, or is he kind of on the shelf for right now?
On the shelf right now. If anything, Robin will be the one playing it because he's the solo laner. But we just don't want to take any chance. I personally hate Deathwing at the moment. I guess it's just not fun to play with or against.
Interesting way to put it, but it's fair. Also, I didn't own him until today because today his price dropped to 15k. And just today I buy him, so excellent.
That would be a good reason not to play him. So, fair enough. All right. Well, you guys played, in game number 1, you played a Stukov, Sylvanas, Nubarak, Blaze, and Greymane. And I felt like when I saw the Garrosh pick early and then I saw the Stukov and the Greymane, as a tank player, I was like, wow, poor Garrosh is just screwed. Like, there's nothing that Garrosh can do. How much of that was built around, like, were you guys expecting that Garrosh was going to be the theme of the night from them?
I feel like he's the sub, or like he wasn't, like he didn't play the first 2 weeks, so we weren't sure what to expect, but we picked it the Greymane just because we want to make sure we have enough race. So that's the reason why we picked Greymane, and I guess the fact that they picked Garrosh is just kind of good for us.
Sure. Okay. Good deal. And then in game number 2, so game number 2 was a little bit different. It was also your map pick, which, yeah, okay, I gave you guys your point. And, you guys still ultimately ended up getting a lot of control, but let's talk about this whole Dahaka versus Malthael domination. Like, how on earth do you as a Dahaka kill Malthael again, run off Tychus, and then kill Malthael again? Like, how do you make this happen?
A lot of playing the solo lane is knowing when your power spikes come. During the first 7 levels, Malthael wins pretty strongly, but once I get the 7 that lowers my drag cooldown, I have a lot more CC. And if the enemy can only attack or move about half the time they're facing you, they have a lot of struggle trying to win.
Fair enough. And it was showcased pretty well. We didn't get all of them. I did get your kill on Malthael in the middle, like between the middle and the top, the third time you killed him. And we did see when, you know, you were fighting against Tychus, just how much you were able to do to him in the few seconds that he was there before you sent him back to Hearth. So, you know, it's always so difficult to showcase the talents of a solo lane, but you did a really great job there. It was quite clear in the times that we were able to catch those. So, you know, really great job doing that.
Yeah, thank you. Also to point out, especially if it's a solo lane, so it's easy to see the specific enemy you're going against, it's not a bad idea to see the talents they go. Because I went a pretty aggressive role with, like, I think at level 13 or 16, I got where I do more damage with my auto attacks, and I definitely abused that.
Oh yeah, gain 1% increased attack damage per essence stored. So yeah, oh my gosh, that would be a lot.
Yeah, so the build I went was super aggressive, so I think it paid off pretty well.
I would say so, absolutely. And you guys picked the Sylvanas in game 2 as well. I was a little surprised in game number 1 to see the possession as opposed to the Merc Queen, just because of twofold, because the Merc Queen damage for the Immortal, and then also just for the camps. Like, you guys had a lot of value from the camps in game 1. I realize that, you know, Bob isn't in here, but is that a variation that you guys are familiar with? Is that something you can talk to a little bit about that, or is that just kind of something that's in his wheelhouse?
It's mostly just up to him. I don't really talk about individual talents too much. I just let them just pick whatever they feel is the best for that game. So you have to ask him for that. Maybe I'll ask him later.
Fair enough. Maybe that's an edge question. Who knows?
Right.
And then, so you guys you guys are officially an organization, right? Like a group of 4 or 5 Mrgles teams.
Yeah.
So you were on a team last season, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, correct.
And what team were you on last season?
I was in Div 8 in 2 Deep, which is not playing anymore this season.
Right. I thought you were in Div A, and so
yeah.
So how did you create this team? Where did these players all come from?
I was going to leave it. I was going to leave it to the shout out, but like, so what happened is I played with Sheech and Coldtip in season 4. I kind of want to play with them again, so this is the first time in 4 seasons that we can kind of group together because of the scheduling. So we don't really care about what names we play under, but at that time we kind of wanted some help to kind of get a couple of more players. So kind of I stumbled upon like Gingy Boy, and he was like saying, "Oh, let's come join the Mrgle community," and I guess here we are.
All right then. Well, you know, it's interesting because I didn't actually know that this was a thing until all the teams were signing up. I'd heard about the Phoenix Rising group, obviously Regen's out there, the Calculated group. But your guys' kind of caught me surprised when I started seeing all the teams showing up on the thing. So, I mean, it's been really great. You know, I like your guys' individual Mrgle logos. They're relatively basic, but they're cute, you know?
Right, I know, yeah.
So I know Lulu's gonna have a couple questions, so I want to give her a moment here. So go ahead, Lulu.
I'm gonna have a couple questions, huh?
You're not gonna ask him about the Murky?
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. So you guys are Mrgles. You've got a nice little Murloc there for your logo. Why no Murky?
Oh my.
Maybe it will come out one day. We do have some comps for that. Stay tuned, I guess.
Fair enough.
But at the moment, we just want some wins because we didn't do too well in the first 2 weeks. So at some point, maybe we'll just pull those out.
Sure. You got anything else for him, Lulu?
So did you guys come up with the Tidecaller Mrgle name, or was that just handed to you all?
It was just pretty much handed to us.
It's a very cool one though.
Oh yeah,
It is.
absolutely. Yeah.
And it's blue, and blue's a great color, so
I
you
agree.
guys got a good Murloc name.
So it looks like you guys, your first couple of games were against Arrogant Nephilim and Would Tap That. Arrogant Nephilim was a team in Div B last season, dropped down to Div C. Would Tap That is a team that came up from Div D, but they also brought some people in from Div B. So, you know, a nice balance there. Obviously tonight you played against Vilefin. Your next couple of games here, Clouded Minds and Piecemeal, those are some pretty strong teams. Are you guys prepared for that challenge? Do you feel like you're up to that challenge?
I would think so. We haven't looked too much into their results and whatnot, but we are pretty confident that we can at least hold our own, I guess. So we'll see what happens.
Sure. Well, that's all except for my final question, Louis. Before I go into that, do you have anything else you want to ask?
No further questions.
All right. Then my last question for you, and then we can do shoutouts. Was there anything in particular tonight that you guys did individually, or that the other team did, or anything like that, that really stuck out as like a highlight moment for you? That was a really enjoyable moment for you?
I feel like we communicate exceptionally well tonight. I guess it's easier when you're winning, but if we can keep communicating in this manner, I feel like a lot of games can go a lot like better in general. So hopefully we can keep that up.
Sure. Robin, did you have anything you wanted to add? Any other moments or anything?
I'm just, I am glad that I did stop that lane. It was fun, but I'm not trying to rub it in. But it is fun when you practice a certain character enough and you get to know everything about it, and then you can use that to the advantage. And it's nice being part of the reason the team won, and not just being the XP collector in the off lane.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up. Any shout outs you'd like to make? The floor is yours.
Shout out to the Mrgles community. I think a lot of them are watching. Shout out to my teammates. Shout out to Sheech and Kotip. Good to be playing with them again. Shout out to Bob. That this is like his first ever kind of competitive season, so he's still learning. He's role swapped a couple of times, so he's picking up pretty fast. So shout out to him. Shout out to Robin. We actually literally picked him up in Stormly Q when we were trying out someone else. So he was the rando at that time. So it doesn't really happen that often. So we end up like getting him to play with us. So it's a cool story. Shout out to you guys casting the game. Yeah.
Well, he covered every base I could have. So, but thank you again for casting.
Absolutely, guys. We appreciate the opportunity. It was a fun time, and I had three choices, and I was like, I cannot leave a Mrgles versus Mrgles game on the table. This has got to happen. So I'm glad we were able to take care of this for you guys.
Yeah, Mrgles names are too fun. Also Murloc noises too.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
All right, you too. Thank you.
And good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so I guess we can just stay here for the moment. So that's shout out to King Chaotic. Who else wanted a shout out? Dershane Train. There you go. I'm shouting you guys out so you're feeling better. And I did see a note there that said Bob said that they didn't know that was a thing. So there you go. For the Merc Queen on the Immortals. 2-0 victory here from Tidecallers over the Vilefin Mrgles C West action. So that's going to put the Tidecallers on the map for their standings. So an exciting night for Tidecallers, and hopefully Vilefin, they've got plenty of opportunities to come back and get some points and see themselves in the playoffs and see what they can do. So that's basically it for me. Lulu, anything you want to say out there to Twitch chat?
Dershane Train, sorry I said you were banned. I didn't mean it. And, I mean, we were all right. The Mrgles walked out of here with a win tonight, so.
That is true. That is true. Alrighty, folks. Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. And you know what? I think what we're going to do is we're going to check in. I believe the Baja is still casting, so we'll send everybody over to Baja. Give him a little bit of a boost, and I'm sure that he's doing some exciting stuff. So thanks again for joining us. Have a good night.